Not granted. The member for Chisholm has the call. Member for Chisholm.
My question is to the Treasurer. Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. Will the Treasurer outline to the House the priorities driving the government's upcoming budget? How will the 2017 budget build on the government's national economic plan to boost growth, create jobs and lift wages for hard-working Australians? How does this compare with other approaches?
Just before I call the Treasurer, I haven't called the Treasurer yet. The member for Sydney is warned, as is the member for Gorton. We seem to do this at about the same time every day, but we'll keep going. The Treasurer has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Chisholm for her question. The member for Chisholm has worked all of her life.
On that note, the member for Lyons is warned as well.
The member for Chisholm has worked all of her life for manufacturing companies that employ thousands of Australians, and now she is here as the member for Chisholm, working for the constituents of Chisholm to ensure that they can have the jobs and the growth and wages and the investment that goes into those businesses so they can support the many people who work in those businesses that she's been involved with for so long. Now, the budget in 2016 was a national economic plan for jobs and growth that was positioning Australia for future prosperity. The 2017 budget will continue this task when we come back here in May, Mr Speaker. Every element of that plan is designed to support our economy to grow through the substantial changes that are taking place in our economy, because we know that across Australia, while there are many regions in this country that are doing extremely well, outside of our capital cities, rural and regional Australia is seeing some tremendous growth. But we also know there are other parts of the country with an old industrial base which are struggling. The sorts of places, and we reflect particularly and stand with those around the Hazelwood plant and other major changes that are taking place, a plant that the Labor Party cheered on the closure for. We understand that there is a disparate experience when it comes to this growth. Now, our mission, Mr Speaker, is to support Australians to earn more. We want to see Australians in this country earn more. People who are working for a living, Mr Speaker. We want to see the businesses that employ them do better so the people who work in those companies can earn more. And this requires our economy to grow. And that growth cannot be taken for granted. It doesn't fall from the sky, as the Labor Party seem to think it does. You have to fight for every inch of growth. And so our budget, which is already delivering record investment in infrastructure, a defence industry plan that is ramping up, finally, Mr Speaker, after 6 years of neglect by the Labor Party, real defence investment that supports our defence industries, investments in innovation and science and technology, a trade agenda, Mr Speaker, that is ensuring more money in the pockets of people, particularly in rural and regional Australia, as a result of those trade agreements, taking the tax burden off middle-income earners so they don't go into the second highest tax bracket. Affordable childcare has been delivered, Mr Speaker, by this government by ensuring the government lives within its means in the budget we handed down, and the funding for schools and hospitals is supported by the same approach. And now, today, Mr Speaker, we have the opportunity to support businesses with lower taxes so they can remain competitive, they can invest and support the jobs and wages that are there to be had, Mr Speaker. But you need to grow your economy, and our plan delivers on just that.
Concluded before